Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our weekly call here with Ford Performance. We're joined this morning by Noah Gragson, driver of the number 4 Front Row Motorsports Ford Mustang Dark Horse in the Cup Series. Noah's coming off a 4th place finish last weekend at Talladega, and we head to Texas where Noah's got one Xfinity Series victory, and this will be his 3rd start in the Cup Series. Noah, thanks for joining us, and I'm going to kick it off with a question I got here from Brendan Carroll. Is after getting that first top 5 with Front Row, what type of confidence does that give you for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's good motivation for our team, and it's been, not a great year result-wise. I think we've had, some good, runs and good speed throughout the races, just closing them out and finishing them off. We haven't finished the way we need to be, so uh, hopefully it's a good building moment for our group and good motivation and confidence that we could take to these next handful of racetracks.
All right, great. We just had a couple of folks join here. We just kind of got kicked it off, so you really haven't missed anything. If you've got a question for Noah, raise your hand in the chat as they're starting to come in here. Noah, we'll head it over to Claire. Claire, go ahead.
Thank you. Noah, can you talk about finding out that there was an inspection issue and that you would be moved up? And then also avoiding the spin of Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski on lap 43. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, I saw the smoke coming, and then I saw the cars appear, and then more smoke, and then I'm like, oh man, they're right here, and luckily felt like Cole Trickle was able to miss the wreck and drive through the smoke. And then going back to finding out the inspection issues and getting moved up into the top 5, we were landing on the flight home and got word of it that we ended up 4th, and I'm like, oh heck yeah, that's good for the racing reference. So you'll take some top 5s any way you can get them, but yeah, we ran good at Talladega last year, finished 3rd, and then ultimately to come home in the, I guess, 6th, and then get moved up to 4th. Talladega in the spring's been pretty good to us, so yeah, it's good to get a top 5.
I always thought you were one of the drivers that we needed badly in the sport because you had flair and you spoke your mind, and that's hard to do if the performance isn't there or you don't have what you need or whatever. But Christopher Bell said, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that NASCAR had fallen down into the path of political correctness, not on politics, but on saying and doing the right thing all the time. Do you feel like you've changed and that, you can be yourself eventually where you can be that guy that's that edgy driver, or have you toned that down?
I think a little bit of both. It's definitely one of those things where you answer to so many different partners that might have different views. You know, within the partners that you have, they have different views. So you kind of just got to tone it down. And I'm probably a little more edgier than most drivers, and I try to live every day like it's my last, and I try to enjoy it. But at the same time, there's so many partners that you kind of got to walk that middle road.
Sounds like you got a cold. I hope you feel better. Okay.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for coming on. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, Claire. Let's go over to John Newby. Good morning, John.
Morning. Thank you. No, I have two quick questions for you. So first off, I was talking to some drivers at Talladega this last weekend, and looking at Texas, they're kind of split on why the track just isn't aging the same way as other intermediates, and why it's still kind of like ice, which makes it harder to move around. I was curious, can I get your perspective on that?
Yeah, there's no beaches around. That's why the place doesn't age, in my opinion. You look at Darlington and you know Homestead. They're all, I don't know if they're using asphalt from around those places, but it seems like the sand peels away, and then you get the sharp, jagged rocks that stick out of the surface, and that is what, in my opinion, causes the tire wear. Uh, I don't really think it's too sandy out in the middle of Texas. So, um, with that being said, I don't know where they get their asphalt, but it certainly is a one, maybe two lane track, and it definitely feels like ice out there.
Okay, perfect. And then on a wildly different note, lately you did a backflip on a motorbike, then you jumped the electric super truck. I was just curious, what's the next adventure you're going to take part in?
I don't know. It just kind of comes to me in the moment. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. It's one of those things where with the Ford switchgear F-150 Lightning, I was like, man, this thing looks pretty sweet. I should go jump it, and I didn't really get permission. I kind of was hoping to ask for some forgiveness afterwards. So. Uh, And then the dirt bike thing that was at Pastrana's house, got to do a backflip on the dirt bike. That was pretty cool, but I didn't plan that either. I just asked him, hey, can I flip a dirt bike? And he's like, heck yeah. So I don't know what the next thing in store is. We'll see.
Perfect. Well, thanks for your answer and thanks for, jogging the word dirt bike in my memory because apparently it's too early to think of that.
No worries.
All right, thanks, John. Let's go over to Scotty Powell. Hello, Scotty.
Hey there. Hey, Noah. Thanks for joining us. A couple of questions for you, too. We're heading into kind of like the bread and butter of the schedule. There's 1.5 mile intermediate tracks. Texas is a little different, but then you got Kansas and Charlotte coming up. Like you said earlier, you guys have had a lot of speed, not only you, but the whole team. But what is it going to take for you all to kind of just connect all the dots and start getting those more consistent finishes?
I don't know. It's hard to say. Like Vegas, we were running sixth or seventh and got in a wreck with Blaney down the back straightaway with maybe 60 to go. And so we were having a pretty solid run there. Atlanta, we were kind of biding our time there, and Suarez comes up the racetrack and clips us. It's kind of silly wrecks getting involved with them. But really, it just comes down to we just need to go faster, so we're not in those positions. If you're leading the race, the odds are you're not going to be around that stuff. So ultimately, we just got to go faster, and I think we got a team to do it.
Second question for you is we're coming up on the All-Star race, and obviously you want to win to get into that event, or at least place first or second in the Open. But you've been able to win the fan vote the last couple of years. What does that mean to have the fan support behind you and to be able to race in that prestige event?
Yeah, it means a lot. It's cool to be able to take take part in it and participate in that race. And when you make the main event and you walk out for driver intros with your pit crew guys, it's good time. It's a good time. The fans there's a ton of fans there, and they're all pretty hyped up. So yeah, it's pretty sick to be able to take part in it.
Thanks, Noah.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Scotty, let's move on over to Bob. Hello, Bob.
Good morning. I'm curious, Noah, it's about this time of year ago when a lot of the Stuart Haas, rumors and everything were starting. And if you look now, Chase Briscoe's 12th in points, Priest is 18th, Barry 21st with a win, and you got off to a slow start, but looks like things are getting better for you. Just where would you evaluate all four, where the four of you are now compared to maybe, with all the uncertainty of a year ago?
Yeah, I think we're all kind of settled in to kind of that new home that we're at. Josh obviously has done a great job this year getting a win at Vegas. Priest has had a lot of speed that he might not have had last year. For myself, I feel like I'm in a better position here at Front Row Motorsports. I have a lot of the similar crew guys that I had on the team last year, but just really enjoying what we got here at Front Row. And then Chase Briscoe, he's had a lot of speed. He sat on the pole for the Daytona 500, stuff like that. It's pretty cool to see. So happy for all those guys' success. Priest obviously had a shot at the win this past weekend. But yeah, all of us going in our own separate directions. Still, at the end of the day, it's pretty cool to see those guys having success, and I'm happy for them as well. So I feel like I'm in a great spot here at Front Row Motorsports. Bob Jenkins and Jerry Freeze, they have a great vision, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to race here. Our cars are fast. We haven't had the results we want, but um, in racing, when you don't have speed, you're really scratching your head. Right now, I feel like we have some decent speed. It's just putting the whole race together. So I'm probably not as stressed out right now as maybe I was around this time last year, just because I feel like we're in a good spot.
And if I had told you a year ago, say, hey, Stuart Haas going to shut down, would you think that all four of you would be kind of settled in rides and rides that appears all four of you are relatively happy about?
Yeah, I really didn't know what was gonna happen, so I would have been pretty surprised by that statement as you told me, 365 days ago. But it's we're all in really good spots, and just very grateful.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
All right, thanks, Bob. Dustin Long couldn't be on the call today, Noah, but he sent me a couple questions
Yeah.
to ask. So I'm going to try to shorten them. I'm going to give you the Dan version of a Dustin Long question. Okay.
Uh,
NASCAR is looking at making some changes, maybe to playoffs, going to Mexico this year, improve short track racing. Do you kind of view this as a transition period for NASCAR, or is it just kind of business as usual?
for me, it's business as usual. I look at the task at hand, and for example, this weekend is Texas. I'm going to go out there and try to be the best race car driver for our team as possible. I don't really get caught up on all the different formats, and I just try to control what I can control and focus on what I can control. With Mexico, that'll be a new experience. It'll be something that's really cool, something that's different from NASCAR. They haven't been down to Mexico in the Premier Series of NASCAR at the Cup level, so that'll be super exciting. But as far as the playoff format and all that kind of stuff, I just kind of do what I'm told, and try and control things that I can control.
Do you like the change? I mean, do you like this change and just kind of not necessarily knowing, that there might be something new next year or the year after?
I mean, I don't lose sleep over it. It's cool, I guess, but going back to, they just kind of tell me what we're doing, and I just try to be the best race car driver for our team, and the whatever, scenario we're in, whether it be a different points format and or going to new tracks. I just try to show up and do the best job I can.
Gotcha. Last thing from him is, can you describe what it's like, the bumps in turns 3 and 4, what it does to your car, what it does to you inside personally?
Yeah, you just kind of lose the nose a little bit through 3 and 4 at Texas. So just being mindful of being aimed and pointed in the right direction that you want to be able to finish the corner with throttle. Definitely timing on the steering wheel and timing on where you let out of the throttle to get your car pointed in that direction. So yeah, it definitely is. I would compare it to a little bit of a hiccup. You hit it and you're just like, oh, little hiccup of a bump, but it's not too bad.
All right, very good. Anybody else got any follow-ups or anything for Noah? Or else, Claire, go ahead.
Noah, you sound bad. Like you do not feel well. You've been not feeling well for a little bit, or you got a cold, or how are you doing, man?
Yeah, I got it. I've kind of been sick for the since like last Wednesday, Thursday, and then it's excuse me. It's been kind of hitting me really hard today, so a little bit of a sore throat.
Yeah. You okay for the weekend?
Oh yeah, we'll
Hopefully.
be all right.
Yeah, you're tough as nails. Okay. Feel better, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
All right, we're going to close it out here with Lewis. Go ahead, Lewis. You get the last question for Noah.
Sounds good. you mentioned about how everybody else from your former team, it seems like settling in. How, as far as how neat is to just be in an organization with stability and just focus, as you mentioned a bit, business as usual at this point in the season with a lot of racing left?
Um, yeah, I think, like you said, it's just kind of business as usual. We got stability, and it's a good place for me. I really enjoy my teammates, Todd and Zane. I really enjoy the people I work with, and when you go to work and you're having fun and you're enjoying yourself, I think it makes it that much better, and you kind of can take it up an extra notch, on you're just showing up with excitement every day. So it just makes it better.
Thank you.
Nice.
All right, no, we'll let you rest your voice here for a few minutes before you got to run to your next deal. But appreciate you joining us here for 15 minutes and get better. And good luck this weekend in Texas.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate all your calls this
Cheers.
morning. We'll be back next week with another driver. We'll send that advisory out Monday at some point. But thanks for joining. For those of you traveling to Texas, be safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.